The European Union stands as a beacon of economic and political integration. Its success is a testament to the power of collaboration and shared values. However, the EU economy is at a crossroads. Once a powerhouse of global growth, it now faces the specter of stagnation. Understanding the challenges confronting the EU is not simply a matter of economic analysis, it is about grasping the very future of a continent. The EU's economic health is inextricably linked to its global standing. A stagnant EU has profound implications for the world. It weakens a crucial engine of the global economy. It undermines a vital partner in addressing transnational challenges. The time for complacency is over. The EU must confront its economic demons head-on. Failure to do so risks consigning the continent to a future of diminishing prospects and waning influence. At the heart of the EU's economic malaise lies a demographic crisis. Europe's population is aging rapidly. Low birth rates and increasing life expectancy have produced a shrinking workforce. This demographic shift has profound economic consequences. Fewer workers mean fewer consumers, reducing demand. The tax base shrinks. Social welfare systems face enormous strain as the number of retirees balloons. The EU's famed social safety net, once a source of pride, is becoming a fiscal albatross. Addressing the demographic challenge requires a multi-pronged approach. Encouraging higher birth rates is crucial. This requires family-friendly policies. Immigration, while controversial, can provide a much-needed influx of younger workers. However, simply adding more workers is not enough. The EU must also address the productivity problem that lies at the heart of its economic woes. Productivity growth, the engine of economic prosperity, has slowed to a crawl in the EU. This is alarming. It suggests that the EU is not efficiently utilizing its resources, human or otherwise. Several factors contribute to this productivity slump. One key culprit is a rigid labor market. Stringent regulations make it difficult to hire and fire workers. This discourages businesses from expanding and innovating. Fear of litigation stifles risk-taking. Another contributing factor is underinvestment in research and development. The EU lags behind its competitors in this crucial area. This lack of investment undermines innovation, making it harder for European companies to compete on a global stage. Addressing the productivity crisis requires bold action. Labor market reforms are essential, albeit politically challenging. The EU must create a more flexible labor market that encourages job creation. Simultaneously, it must invest heavily in education and research to foster innovation and develop a skilled workforce. Section 4. The Investment Ice Age. A climate of uncertainty has gripped the EU, casting a long shadow over investment. Businesses, both domestic and foreign, are hesitant to invest. This lack of investment is a major drag on economic growth. It is a vicious cycle. Low investment leads to low growth, which in turn further discourages investment. Several factors contribute to this investment drought. The EU's complex regulatory environment is a major deterrent. Navigating the labyrinthine rules and regulations can be daunting. This is particularly true for smaller businesses. Moreover, the EU's fragmented capital markets make it difficult for businesses to access the financing they need to grow. The lack of a single, deep capital market like that of the United States puts European businesses at a disadvantage. To revive investment, the EU must create a more business-friendly environment. This requires streamlining regulations, reducing red tape, and simplifying the tax code. Creating a true single market for capital would also make the EU a more attractive destination for investment. Section 5. The Weight of Regulation. The EU's regulatory framework, while well-intentioned, has become excessively burdensome. Designed to protect consumers, workers, and the environment, it has, in many cases, stifled innovation and hampered economic growth. The problem is not the existence of regulations per se, but rather their sheer volume and complexity. The EU suffers from regulatory overload, with rules and regulations often overlapping and contradicting each other. This creates uncertainty and imposes significant costs on businesses. Moreover, the EU's regulatory process is often slow and cumbersome. New regulations can take years to be implemented. This lack of agility makes it difficult for businesses to adapt to changing market conditions. It stifles innovation. Reforming the EU's regulatory framework is essential. This does not mean abandoning the EU's commitment to social and environmental protection. Rather, it means pursuing these goals in a more efficient and business-friendly manner. Section 6. A Path to Renewed Vitality. The challenges confronting the EU economy are significant, but they are not insurmountable. The EU has overcome crises before. It has the resilience and the resources to do so again. However, doing so requires bold action and a willingness to embrace change. First and foremost, the EU must address its demographic crisis. This requires a combination of policies to encourage higher birth rates and to manage immigration effectively. Failure to do so will leave the EU with a shrinking workforce and a growing fiscal burden. Second, the EU must tackle its productivity problem head-on. This requires labor market reforms to create a more flexible and dynamic economy. It also requires a renewed commitment to education and research to foster innovation. Third, the EU must create a more investment-friendly environment. This means streamlining regulations, reducing red tape, and simplifying the tax code. It also means completing the single market for capital to provide businesses with easier access to financing. Section 7. A hopeful future for Europe? The EU stands at a pivotal moment in its history. The decisions it makes today will determine its economic trajectory for decades to come. The path ahead will be challenging, requiring difficult choices and political courage. However, the EU has overcome challenges before. It has a remarkable track record of innovation and adaptation. By embracing reform and demonstrating a commitment to economic renewal, the EU can reignite its economic engine and secure a prosperous future for its citizens. The world needs a strong and vibrant EU. A stagnant Europe benefits no one. It is in everyone's interest to see the EU thrive. The time for action is now.